The main suspect in the Austin, Texas bombings is dead. But did he act alone? I'll tell you what federal authorities think. The main suspect in the Austin bombings, now identified as 24-year-old Mark Anthony Condit, is dead. He blew himself up as a SWAT team closed in. This from the Statesman, a Texas newspaper. It said authorities tracked down the suspect's vehicle to a Round Rock area hotel. Police began following the suspect's vehicle, and as SWAT approached, the suspect detonated a bomb in the car. An officer had fired at the suspect, and another officer was knocked down by the blast. Luckily, he was okay. He was treated for minor injuries. Now, does this put an end to the bombings? Well, authorities are still very concerned that there are undetonated explosive devices still out there, maybe devices he built, maybe devices he stored somewhere, maybe devices that he already put into the mail that haven't yet been detected or opened. So this investigation is very much ongoing. Now, interestingly, I've got a story here from a local CBS affiliate out of Dallas-Fort Worth. A former ATF agent feels that there might be an accomplice. It says here in North Texas, a former FBI ATF agent revealed to CBS 11 exactly who he thinks could be behind the Texas terror. He said, quote, and the retired agent's name is Hector Tarango. Now, the ATF obviously used to stand for alcohol, tobacco, and firearms. Now it's BATFE, Bureau of Alcohol, Tobacco, Firearms, and Explosives. Explosives were always part of their mission, but we'd always shorten their name down, their acronym down. And he said, retired ATF agent Tarango said, quote, you start off with a really rough sketch, and as the days go on and it starts to get clearer and clearer, you'll see that person emerge. Now, Tarango spent more than these stories, says 25 years as an investigator and supervisor with the ATF before retiring in 2016. So he has very current experience, only been out of the game 2 years. And he's now the CEO of a firm that specializes in security and investigations. Now, the suspect who took his own life, I'm going to read from this story because it's very comprehensive. While the suspect who took his own life has only been identified as Mark Anthony Condit, 24 years old, the ATF agent in charge already predicted their profiling, said the suspect was 20 to 30 years old, educated, and most likely a local resident. That all rang true. Now, what Tarango and other law enforcement folks I spoke with are saying is that the one thing that bothers them, and this is not coming from the story, this is from source information, this is implied by former Special Agent Tarango, the one thing that's bothering them is that there wasn't a commonality in all the bombs. Bombers typically have a fingerprint in how they make these devices. That's why they feel there could have been an accomplice, because of the different mechanisms, the different types of construction with each bomb. What they tell me, I never worked explosives in law enforcement. I know very little about it, but I spoke to some people who know very much about it, former NYPD bomb squad people, former explosive ordnance people from the United States military, reading what the ATF agents are saying, speaking to a friend of mine who's on an ATF task force here in South Florida, and they were all in agreement. I didn't feed them. I didn't say, hey, is this true if there's no commonality? Interestingly, all of them said the same thing to me, that they're happy the main suspect is down. He apparently killed himself. They're happy that it appears that this string of bombings is coming to an end, or came to an end. Let's hope there are no other bombs in the mail. But they're all a bit uneasy that there's not an accomplice. They said that in their professional opinion, and we're looking at 100+ years of collective, very qualified, very professional opinion, the lack of commonality in the way the bombs were built makes them very uneasy and leads them to think this guy might have had an accomplice, might have had someone working with him on this in some way. And so this investigation is very, very much ongoing. And we're going to go much deeper into what those expert sources told me on my longer show, Off the Cuff Declassified, today, right here on The Rebel. If you like this great content, this is really important stuff we talk about every day. I mean, a lot of this stuff is life and death stuff. I want to bring it to you every single day. So help me do that by subscribing to our premium service at www.therebel.media/shows.